So last month I noticed that everybody was doing like a low buy, no buy January, and I had thoughts to do a video like that myself, but just never got around to it. And then as I was pondering if I bought anything last month, I realized that I accidentally did a no buy January myself too. So I wanted just to share my thoughts on it and any lessons that I accidentally learned. So I just wanted to share some tips on how to have a successful low buy, because again, even though I wasn't planning on doing this, everything that I ended up doing this month kept me like so occupied that I didn't even think about shopping that much, which is kind of what you want with a low buy. So my first tip is just to be busy. And I think that the beginning of the year is really easy to do that because you know, the holidays just ended and you're kind of resetting your home, decluttering because it's all in the air, you know, decluttering, making goals. There's a lot of other things to think about instead of shopping, which I think is really great. So somehow at our house, we kept our tree up like halfway through January, so we finally ended up taking it down, and I was really busy just kind of cleaning, decluttering, like resetting the house, and that really took my mind off of thinking about shopping. And another thing that I did to stay busy is I read a lot of books. And I really love to read. I read a lot as a kid, but I found that after I had kids, you know, life was really busy. Didn't have a lot of time for that, but this year so far I've been really into like reading a lot of fiction, because I think fiction books can really like draw you into a story, you know, they kind of, you get really absorbed into it, and I really love that personally. So what I've been doing is I just looked up like New York Times bestsellers, and then I went ahead and put them on hold at my library, and I've actually just been reading all my books on my phone, like on an app that's called Libby, which is part of like my local library. And so I just have my library card connected to it, and I'll just check out books and just like read them on my phone throughout the month. I finally read Where the Crawdads Sing, which was a book that everybody was talking about, I think last year. And then I recently just read It Ends With Us, which was like a really deep book. So it was kind of like a hard read, but very like thought-provoking, which I really enjoyed. So my whole point with this tip is that, you know, the beginning of the year can also be like a really gloomy and depressing time with like the weather being dark and holidays are over. And I think that kind of boredom can really make us want to shop or buy a lot of things. But I think instead, if we keep ourselves busy with things that we enjoy doing that kind of take our mind off of shopping, I think that's a really great tip to just get you through that month really fast. And then you look back and you're like, oh, the month already passed and I didn't buy anything at all. Okay, so I'm in my kitchen now, but I just wanted to say before I go on to my next point that if you're new to my channel, then my name is Val, and I like to talk about fashion and style, but from like a very relaxed perspective. It's called slow fashion, if you've never heard of it before, and it's just about like making thoughtful purchases, and it doesn't really matter where you buy your clothes from as long as you like buy good quality and you really wear it and try to make it last. That's kind of the whole philosophy around here. I kind of don't like how strict sustainable fashion can be sometimes, because I think that it's not very realistic for a lot of people. So on my channel I talk about like realistic style, making a wardrobe that really fits your life. You know, even if it's like casual, you can still look put together and feel really great. And yeah, that's kind of what I like to talk about on here. So if that sounds interesting to you, then consider subscribing and following along. So my next tip is to make a wardrobe plan for the year. So I think it's a really great idea to take the first months of the year and make like a really solid wardrobe plan for yourself. So to start, I think it's really great to look through your wardrobe, like assess it, see what's missing, see what you like to wear, maybe do a mini declutter of the wardrobe and just like pull out all the items that are your favorite and then just see what's left and kind of think about why you don't like them. And then I personally really love to have like a style notebook where I put all my notes. I track everything that I buy for the year, like how much it costs, and then if it really lasted or was worth it after like a few years pass. And I think it's really great to do that because it really makes me in tune with my wardrobe, and I know what I like, what I don't like, and it really just helps my wardrobe to be like very streamlined and not super decluttered with stuff that I don't like. So if you're gonna do that for yourself, what I think is really important is set a budget so that you're not going to be overbuying, overspending, you know. Think realistically, like how much can you spend this year without feeling like really guilty that you wasted all your money? And then also maybe make like a rough estimate of how much items you want to buy this year and try to track them as you buy them, because what I found out last year is I tracked all my purchases and I was trying to stick to 25, and I did end up sticking to that. But when I actually pulled out all the items and looked at them, it was like so much stuff that this year I'm really gonna try to just buy less, just so that's not like such a giant quantity of items that I'm adding to my wardrobe. And why I think this is really helpful to do during a no-buy is that you really like planning everything out first before you buy it, and that's really gonna help you resist shopping, resist impulse purchases, because instead of just mindlessly shopping, you're like, let's make a plan first. And it makes me think of Dave Ramsey. I don't know if you guys like him or not, if you've heard of him, but he likes to say like, spend every dollar on paper first. And I think that's really great to also apply to your wardrobe. Like, plan out your purchases first and then go and make them. And then you don't feel the guilt of like, oh no, I bought too much. Because like, no, you already planned for this. It was part of your plan, and I think that's great. So I haven't actually decluttered my wardrobe yet this year, but what I did do is I started writing down things that I want to buy, and I tried to make like a really intentional wish list with very like high impact items. So instead of like thinking, oh, I'm gonna buy like 5 t-shirts this year, you know, I'll write like, this is the shoe that I want, or this is the style of like coat that I really want to buy this year. And for this year, I've pretty much committed to trying to buy 12 items for the year, so like 1 a month. The reason why I'm doing that is that I really have already put a lot of time and effort into building a really good quality wardrobe. It's been over 5 years that I like sat down and really decluttered my wardrobe, made a plan, and ever since then I've been really intentional with my purchases and like finding out my style, making sure that I'm buying things that like work for me, for my lifestyle, not buying anything for like a fantasy life that I wish that I had. And that has made it that I really don't need that much stuff this year. There's really not a whole lot that's missing, so I'm gonna really try to focus on purchases that like make me really happy and are adding like a little bit of extra like magic, extra like interesting, unique pieces that are just gonna complete my wardrobe this year. So my next tip is take care of yourself. I think it's really great at the beginning of the year to kind of use that momentum of wanting to start something new, to just like start some good habits. And even if they don't stick around for the rest of the year, then at least you give yourself like a nice month of like moving your body or eating good, healthy, nourishing food. So that's what I have been doing for this past month, and it's really, again, helped to take my mind off of buying anything or anything to do with my wardrobe. And I like to take it like very realistically and practically, which I think is a really great way to go, because sometimes we're like, we're gonna change our life and we wanna do all these drastic things, but it's not very sustainable and it's not gonna stick with us for the long haul. So one way that we can take care of ourselves is, of course, just to eat good food. And I'm kind of trying to have a balance of like, for the most part, I wanna eat like good whole food that's not super processed, but I'm still allowing myself to eat like whatever I want, also just like in little moderation. And I think that's a really great way to go. So today I'm gonna make a really easy lunch, something that I like to eat, and I'm gonna share it with you guys. So I did want to mention that I cook everything to taste. That means that I'll like follow a recipe, but then at the end I'll always finish it off like with whatever I think it's missing, because a lot of times recipes are like very basic, but to really amp up the flavors, you know, you gotta add like maybe more salt, pepper, more seasoning, more herbs or spices. So I can list this recipe down below, but then to really finish it, you gotta like add your own personal elements to make it taste great. Here's the final product. Very delicious. Probably took me like 20 minutes to make this. Really excited to eat it. It's like so vibrant and spicy. Should I be a cooking YouTuber now, guys? What do you think? But actually the combo of the sweet potato with like the fishy spicy tuna is really good. You guys should try it. So another tip that's part of taking care of yourself is just start moving your body. Any little thing that you can do, taking walks, exercising, anything that just makes you feel alive and happy is a really great way to just take your mind off shopping. And my arm is getting so tired right now, so I'm actually gonna sit on the couch. Hold on. So anyways, what I've been doing this month is a little bit of like Pilates, HIIT routines, taking walks. Me and my husband started doing a little bit of like weight training just because I love how it makes me feel. It just makes me feel alive, so much more energy. And again, something to do that is occupying my time and I'm not just, you know, sitting around scrolling through social media or looking at different brand websites. I think it's a really great win-win-win. And I personally love to do just Pilates at home. I've been following Pilates for a really long time through all my pregnancies whenever I'm trying to lose a little bit of that weight. And she has a YouTube channel, it's all free, and she has so much great workouts on there, so I highly recommend her. And then I've also been watching a lot of Natasha Ocean videos on YouTube as well, and she does a lot of really great like weightlifting, weight training, and she's just such like an inspirational person and really inspires me just to like have balance. Like, you don't have to be perfect in any of these areas. Just making those like little steps forward in the direction that I want to be. And yeah, I really think that if you know, focus on staying busy with your life, doing things you enjoy, taking care of your body, making a plan for your future, that low buy or no buy time will really just fly by and it will be over really fast, and you'll end up saving yourself lots of money, hopefully saving yourself from making lots of like impulse purchases that you didn't really want, and it'll just be a really great combo. And even though January is over, it's never too late to do a no buy challenge, of course. So yeah, you can do it in March, February, April, whatever you want. I think any time is a great time to change our shopping habits. And if you want a little bit more help on that, I do have a video I recently made all about tiny little changes that we can make to our daily life that will really have a powerful impact on our shopping habits. And you can go ahead and watch it over here, and I'll see you there. Bye.